Most families believe that Medicaid works in the same way in every state across America. Well, it doesn't. In fact, the state you happen to live in can be the difference between keeping your home completely protected for your family or having the government take it away after you pass away. Surprising but true, you can have the same assets, same income, same exact situation, but two completely different outcomes, all because you live on a certain side of a state line. This is why Medicaid planning is one of the most misunderstood areas of law in the United States, and why so many people, especially our baby boomers, are making critical decisions based on completely false assumptions. And now we have AI adding the power of being convincingly wrong. Hi, this is Anthony Parent of One Team Legal and Tax, and every week I upload new content and I interview the top legal and tax advisors, keeping you one step ahead of problems which usually involve government. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any key information that could really help you save your fortune. And hey, while you're at it, give me a little thumbs up if you can, as it helps others see this content. Here's the core reason everything is so different. Medicaid is a joint federal and state program. The federal government sets a basic floor of rules that every state must follow, but above that floor, each state gets to decide almost everything else: eligibility requirements, asset exemptions, look-back period details, and estate recovery policies. In reality, we don't have one Medicaid system in this country. We have 50 different versions operating under the same name. It's like having 50 separate tax codes stapled together and calling it one program. Let me show you 4 of the biggest ways these rules vary state to state. First, home equity limits. Some states let you keep up to $1 million or even more in home equity and still qualify for Medicaid benefits. Others cap it around $700,000, and a few treat the home far, far more aggressively when it comes time for estate recovery. The same exact house can be fully protected in one state, and assume it's moved, it can be completely exposed in the other. If your house is exempted from Medicaid and it's your own asset, well, maybe you don't need a Medicaid plan in the first place. You might want to check. You need to know what's the exemption amount in your state. Second, the rules around Medicaid asset protection trust vary widely. Some states are very flexible and accept a wide range of trust provisions. Other states scrutinize every detail and reject trust for minor drafting issues. Certain states allow broad powers for trustees, while others treat those same powers as disqualifying. I've seen families copy a trust their friend used successfully in a different state, only to have it blow up their eligibility completely. Third, enforcement of the 5-year look-back period. Federal law says 5 years, but states differ dramatically in how aggressively they audit, what they consider a transfer for less than fair market value, whether caregiver agreements between family members are allowed, and how harshly they penalize even small or partial gifts. 2 identical transactions can sail through in one state, but trigger multi-year penalties in the next state over. Fourth, and this is one that keeps many families up at night, state recovery rules. Some states pursue recovery aggressively and will place a lien on your home after you pass away. Others rarely enforce it. Some states grant hardship waivers fairly easily, while others almost never do. In short, the state you live in decides whether Medicaid acts like an interest-free loan or a permanent claim on everything you've spent a lifetime building. Why do so many people miss all of this? Well, it's simple. They grew up with Social Security and Medicare programs that truly do work the same way nationwide. They assume government benefits are uniform, so they never dig into the details. Plus, most still feel in control of their future and don't realize how aggressive and how exposed they are by the states trying to recoup every dollar they can. People sometimes think of government as a safety net, not as the number one risk to their financial health. The consequences are painful and very real. Families lose homes that could have stayed in the family. Trusts fail because they were worded for the wrong state's rules. Adult children inherit surprise liens or tax problems because of state-specific drafting errors, and some families spend thousands of extra dollars every month on care simply because they followed advice that works somewhere else, but not where they live. Here's the bottom line. Medicaid planning is not a document you can download. It's not a template. It's not a one-size-fits-all strategy. It is a state-specific survival planning. If you don't know the exact rules in your state, you don't have a plan. You most likely have a false sense of security. So please, find out what the rules actually are where you live. Don't copy what your brother did in Florida or your neighbor did in Texas. Don't rely on barbershop advice or 10-year-old articles. Make sure any trust or strategy you put in place is built for your state's rules, not some generic version of a Medicaid trust. For families who want help navigating this complicated state-specific maze and avoiding the costly mistakes I see every single week, you can book a consultation with my team using the link below. The stakes are simply too high to leave this to guesswork, but estate planning involves much more than just Medicaid planning. There are so many more mistakes you can make. In the next video, I'll go over the top mistakes I see in estate planning. So sit back, relax, and learn what not to do. This is Anthony Parent of IRS Medic, One Team Legal and Tax. Thanks for watching.